A warm welcome to all our viewers today. This is a special exclusive interview that we are doing with someone very special. He's the founder and president of the Disability Association of Goa, Mr. Avelino Disa. And I'm adding him now, so you can see him. Welcome to the interview, Mr. Desa, and it's absolutely wonderful to have you with us. Um, can you talk a little bit about, the Disability Rights Act and what have been the mandatory requirements in public infrastructure to facilitate the community of person of disability? Uh, and also, can you define a percentage of how much of it is being fulfilled by the current government?
The Persons with Disability Act 1995, which came into force 25 years ago, had only that government buildings which are public in nature have to be accessible for persons with disability, and transportation has to be accessible for persons with disabilities. But the new
Hmm.
Disability Act 2016 has brought the private sector also under its ambit. So
Hmm.
the public buildings and transportation,
Hmm.
and even your websites, which is your communication and all that, which is even owned by the private sector, has to be accessible for persons with disability, be it the orthopedic disabled, be it
I think we're experiencing some disturbance. Yes, welcome back. Yeah.
yeah. You want me to repeat it?
No, you can keep going ahead, as you were mentioning. So even private players are supposed to make websites as well as buildings accessible for persons with disability,
As well as transportation, as well as transportation.
as well as transportation. Okay. Uh, Now, can you define a percentage of how much of it is being fulfilled by the current government since the act has come into effect in 2016? And when was it notified, this act?
If you take only the public buildings which are owned by the government, or the transportation which is owned by the government,
I think there's a bit of disturbance. Hello? Okay, we'll just wait for this. Yes, he's back. Mr. Disa, what is the percentage of the of how much of it is being fulfilled by the current government? Can you comment on that?
the public buildings which are owned by the government, I would say are
Hmm.
not even 5%. But when you take the private sector into account, the percentage comes even less. So I would say just about 2% of the buildings in Goa, be it public sector or private sector, are accessible
Hmm.
for persons with disability. Transportation is
Okay,
not accessible. Public transport is not accessible at all.
so even Kadamba Transport Corporation, there have been no attempts made, and I don't see it as well. They're not accessible to people with disabilities.
No.
Okay. Now, the other point, the question that I wanted to ask you today, we heard last night from you, and it absolutely shocked us. The COVID-19 pandemic has been particularly problematic for persons with disability. Can you give us a comprehensive picture of what has been happening in reality? Has aid been provided or any support from the government that is worth mentioning?
Aid has been provided in the sense of food grains and all that was provided to the persons with disability under the Goa government. But the central government has come out with
Hmm,
certain schemes that, like for instance,
hmm,
the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has had
hmm,
announced an ex gratia bonus of 1,000 rupees for women
hmm,
and persons with disabilities. So persons with disabilities have not yet received that 1,000 rupees. Also, we have the DSS scheme in the Goa government. That
hmm.
DSS also last 4 months. People have not received their DSS amount, and many people are dependent on this money for their livelihood, for their existence. So for them, it is very difficult to survive without this money.
So if you can also give us a sense of how people from the community have been surviving without this aid, the DSS scheme, or even what Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, has announced. So how is the community right now making ends meet? That's the
Uh,
important question.
Goa we have is a very generous society, I would say. There are lots of charitable organizations and good-hearted people who are coming forward to help these people with disabilities to survive.
Hmm. Okay. And has your organization been also part of this effort to get funds together, to get aid and food supplies together to disperse them in the community?
Yes, yes, we have taken help from the government also. We have been
Hmm,
helping with help from the government, with help from the other NGOs, with help from the other good-hearted persons. We have coordinated to reach out to
hmm.
persons with disabilities.
I think we've lost him for a bit. Hello, Mr. Disa. We'll just wait for Mr. Disa to join us again. Okay, we'll just wait for him to come back. But just for our viewers, it was very shocking for me and Avinash to hear whatever Mr. Avelino Disa had shared with us last night in our during our live stream. The condition of the community of persons with disability has been completely abysmal, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. We as a society have not we've come together to help each other out, but there's not enough attention being given to this community by the media. Welcome back, Mr. Disa. And we are also joined by Avinash now. Mr. Desa, I was just telling our viewers while you were away that it's absolutely inhuman what is happening, and Avinash and I, we were very shocked to hear what you had to share last night during our live stream. It What do you say, like, if there were not people in our society who were empathetic enough to come out in aid of the people from the community, how would these people survive without this help from other people? Hello.
I think his video is stuck.
um, okay, can you hear me, Avinash?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, Avinash, while we wait for Mr. Desar to come back, can you, you've just joined us, can you share your insights of something you've read about this issue since last night?
Avlino
Yes.
is back, so
Okay.
Avlino back. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the question.
He's having some troubles with his network at the moment.
Can you repeat
Yes,
the
Mr.
question?
Desar, welcome back. Yes, we can see you. Okay. Mr. Desab, there is an awareness camp being conducted by the government of
Yes,
Goa
yes.
as we speak. Uh, Without the participation of 25 NGOs in Goa, what do you have to say about this, and how often are your inputs taken on average, and how much of it is being implemented?
What is that? Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Um, the awareness camp is being conducted by Goa government as we speak, without participation of 25 NGOs in Goa. What do you have to say about this, and how often are your inputs taken on average, and how much of it is being implemented?
Uh,
Hello?
we have a very good rapport otherwise with the
Hmm.
director of social welfare, and they are very positive in everything that we suggest. And things have been. Yeah, you can hear me.
Yes, we can go ahead.
Yes, yes. Go ahead, go ahead.
So we have been having a very good relationship with the director of social welfare, and things have been going on well in the past 1 year. But I don't know what happened exactly this time.
Yes, please continue.
No, as I was saying, we have a very good rapport with the director of social welfare and the department.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
whatever we have been asking, things have been going on during the last 1 year. They have been quick
Hmm.
to respond.
But during the pandemic, how has the response been? And you mentioned about the
And things
DSS
like
scheme.
that. But I
Hmm.
really do not know what happened
Hmm.
during this for this awareness camp that the
Hmm.
NGOs. Yeah, response was very good. We had a very good district coordination
Hmm.
with the collectors also.
Okay.
This
Okay.
each of the government machinery.
So, Mr. Desa, we coming to the other part now. What would be your message to the government of the day regarding all that you have witnessed, and their sincerity in reducing barriers for persons of disability? Because not the NGOs involved in awareness camps. To me personally, it seems like only a marketing gimmick, but there's no. I don't know what is the action backing up these campaigns. So, what would be your message to the government, if I may ask? Hello.
No, if a government commissioner should be a person with disability, because the present disability commissioner, who is also the director of social welfare, has his limitations when it comes to dealing with other departments or dealing with his own department.
Hmm.
That is why there is a need for an independent disability commissioner, preferably with the person with disability. Okay, so that the things can move on in a better manner or in a faster manner.
Hmm.
We can have a concentrated approach towards the welfare of persons with disability.
Absolutely. Avinash, over to you. If you want to ask some questions from Mr. Dissa,
Ye-
please feel free.
Yeah, Mr. Disa, if you could share, Goa does not have a full-time commissioner, as you were saying. What now? There is a full-time commissioner with other social groups. For example, the STSC Commission has a full-time commissioner. The of course the minorities commission is not set up, but the women's commission has a full-time person. And this, what is the role of this commissioner, and why is it so important to have a full-time commissioner in Goa?
Yes, you were saying something I couldn't hear.
Yeah, so I was asking, what is the role of a commissioner, and why is it so important that we have a full-time disability commissioner in Goa?
Just like the other commissioners, the purpose of the commissioner is to implement the Disability Act. And the Disability Act has got so many sections where education is concerned, employment is concerned, accessibility is concerned, social security, early intervention. So many sections are there, so many departments are there. It is not possible only for the social welfare director to coordinate it because it is, uh, I would say, because he has a lot of his own work. He's already burdened with the senior citizens and the DSS and the freedom fighters and the disability other issues. Okay, so he doesn't have the time to look into these issues of the disability. Plus, plus the sometimes what happens when director to director is concerned, the issue also comes about seniority.
Hmm.
So sometimes if you are junior, suppose that is why it is better if you have a full time independent disability commissioner with independent staff.
Uh, uh,
There is
does
no
the commissioner handle
then there is no
cases?
conflict of
Does the commissioner handle cases of?
yes, yes.
Do you
He can handle it.
do you have any idea how many cases are there currently, and how long it takes for cases to be resolved in the in the court of the deputy, the commissioner for disabilities?
Now it is taking about
I'm sorry.
now it is taking at least 3 to 4 months for cases to be resolved. Three to 4 months it is taking for cases to be resolved.
So if a person who
Okay, and the commissioner has a power of a civil court.
so if a person who cannot walk and who is paralyzed and has been physically assaulted of whatever, he has a grievance, he has to come how many times in 4 months to the office
It
on an
depends on the hearings, no, and the
okay.
response of the other party, response of the other parties. But a good thing now in the new Disability Act, they have made it a criminal offense
Hmm.
under Section 92 for assault of a disabled person, for insult of a disabled person, for sexual abuse of a disabled person, all these things have been made a criminal offense
Okay.
Section 92 of the Disability Act. So a person can easily go to the police station also and file a complaint. He doesn't have to necessarily approach the state disability.
But one of the aspects, Mr. Disa, would be that how many of the police stations themselves are accessible to the community to go and file such a complaint? Because I don't think there is a provision to file a complaint online with the Goa police. Can you weigh in on that?
No, there is no provision to file online, but I'm happy to say that many of the police stations are accessible for persons with disabilities. I do not know in the remote areas, but at least in the cities and all, they have made provision of a ramp and handrails.
Okay. Avinash, can you ask another question before we start concluding our interview for today?
Yeah. So, what are the reforms that are still needed? If you could just summarize the most important reforms that are still needed uh, to in order to give justice and equality to the people living with disabilities.
One is we need to have a full-time disability commissioner, preferably a person with disability. Okay. Then in each and every department of the government, we need to have a person who will handle matters of disability. Because many times the government officials do not know the provisions of the Disability Act or the latest government rulings. So it is important to have one person in the department. I think, and thirdly, we need to be given a voice. We need to be given a voice in the local panchayats and municipal levels. The government should nominate persons with disability at the local panchayats and at the municipality level to look into these issues of disability, where planning of the panchayat or the municipality is concerned.
Absolutely. So before we conclude our interview, Mr. Disa, and thank you so much. I thank you.
I just have one more last question.
Yeah.
With this, there are the people with disabilities have reservation in government offices, right? Uh, is there an
Yes.
audit done as to actually whether these posts are being filled? Because with other reservations, there are still many posts that are not being filled, whether it's ST, SC, OBC, and there, there are ways where they kind of show it as general, and they end up not filling these posts. So, what is the situation with regards to reservation for people of disabilities? Are there still many vacancies pending that the government is not filling?
There is a 4% reservation for persons with disabilities under the Act. But sadly, as of today, only 2% has been filled up. We do not have the latest data as to what is filled up. But at the same time, we do not have the data of number of persons with disability in Goa, also exact number of persons with disability in Goa. Those who are qualified or those who are of employable age. We do not have data of that either. So government has to work on getting a census or getting a statistics of the person with disability at the earliest.
They've
Yes. So before we conclude our interview, thank you so much, Mr. Desa, for being here. But I would like to pose a very essential question to you before we conclude. How is the representation of the community of persons with disability in the mainstream media? And is there a lot, because we don't see much of it, and I'm sure that there's a lot left to be desired. Uh, what do you have to say about this phenomenon, and what do you propose? How can we, deal with this issue?
we are getting a good coverage in the newspapers. We are getting a good coverage in the newspapers. Even the TV channels and all are covering our issues, and we are getting I would say, a better coverage in the vernacular medium than in the English newspapers. But
Okay.
lots go. I think the media, be it the print media or the electronic media, can play a more important role by taking up more such stories, or even showing success stories of persons with disability, which will help to create awareness in the community.
Absolutely. Um, Thank you so much, Mr. Disa, for joining us. This was an exclusive interview with Mr. Avelino Disa, who joined us today to share his views about what's happening with the community of persons with disability, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic,
Thank you
about
for
the
the
reforms.
opportunity also.
No, no, it's absolutely our pleasure. And what are the pending reforms? What needs to be done? Everything that we covered today. And I'm sure going forward, Mr. Disa, we will have more such segments where we can highlight and help in highlighting the issues of the community and hear much more from you. Avinash, can you also share some thoughts?
Yes, from what Mr. Disa has shared, there needs a lot to be done on the political front, where the certain reforms are brought in. Number one, like he said, the commissioner has to be appointed. The gap between the jobs that are reserved and the applicant that and the actual population of people living with disabilities who do not have jobs, so that gap should be closed, and opportunity should be given for these people. There are many others, including giving supplying of nutrition and other facilities for children with
Hmm.
disabilities. So this is a continuous process, and somewhere the social aspect that will be a continuous change, wherein we accept uh, people with disabilities and we treat them like normal people once, and give them jobs in private companies, and socially, that we treat them as equal. But at the same time, it's very important for us to demand from our elected representatives, right in the local bodies, from the local bodies to the legislative assembly members, that the pending reforms are taken up and are resolved at the earliest, because we as
Absolutely.
healthy people get frustrated with delays, whether it is justice or access to services. And for people living with disabilities, it's exponentially more so, as the
Absolutely.
disability gets is severe for certain people. So yes, that would be our request even to our audience. They should talk to their elected representatives and make sure that this is heard, because the only way to for a society to develop is to take everyone along. Did
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you once again, Mr. Desa, and we'll start closing the interview down. Thank you so much for joining us today.
thank have a nice Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for our viewers, before we go, we have a very, very interesting and important discussion and interview this evening at 7 p.m. The core team of the Save RA movement is joining Goa Story this evening at 7 p.m., where we will talk about how their movement has become such a success and what has their journey been like. So we can learn a lot from them by talking about what they did. So please do tune in at 7 p.m. this evening to Goa Story, where we are making your voices heard. And thank you so much for joining us. Bye.